bada boom. WrestleMania 24. One of the best pay-per-views in recent memory and one of my favorite WrestleManias of all time. It had Randy Orton win the WWE Championship against John Cena. Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels. And the most important match, Edge versus Undertaker, title versus streak. What if Edge beat Undertaker and broke the streak? It's WrestleMania 24. Edge beats Undertaker in a long, hard-fought match, but cheated on his way to win using the ropes. CM Punk still wins Money in the Bank, and John Cena, instead of Randy Orton, wins the WWE Championship. The Undertaker's loss is big. It's his first loss to Mania. He takes a hiatus from the company and is gone for a little while. This sets up Edge to be the biggest heel in the company. Now, the beginning of Edge's run after being the Undertaker is pretty boring. He feuds with Triple H for about 4 months, and they have a match at SummerSlam. Edge obviously beats Triple H in the last man standing match because obviously he can't lose a championship. He just beat the Undertaker. But after that, Rey Mysterio wins the number one contenders match, and him and Edge will be feuding for the next 2 months. Then at Cyber Sunday, it will be Edge versus Mysterio versus Triple H, and obviously Edge wins because none of these guys deserve to beat the guy that just defeated the Undertaker at WrestleMania. So let's move on. Survivor Series 2008 is kind of important for this story. It's Team Triple H versus Team Edge. And the stipulation is whoever pins Edge gets a world title opportunity, win or lose. And Edge, in order to get people to be on his team, stated that whoever pins Triple H, he'll give them a title match himself. The teams for this ended up being Team Triple H of Shawn Michaels, Rey Mysterio, Kofi Kingston, and John Cena, WWE Champion, and Team Edge with Big Show, Chris Jericho, MVP, and Mr. Ken. Final 2 wrestlers were WWE Champion John Cena and World Heavyweight Champion Edge. And after getting eliminated, the Big Show started going crazy. He was chokeslamming everyone. Chokeslam John Cena, chokeslam Edge. We don't know if he's a babyface or a heel. He was turning, I don't know. Mr. Money in the Bank, CM Punk, comes rushing in the ring, but he's conflicted on who to pin. Both teams are on the ground, and he just decides he's going to pin John Cena. 1, 2, 3. And you knew the WWE Champion, CM Punk. And this sparks a feud between CM Punk and John Cena before their legendary feud in 2011, but this time CM Punk is here. Now, in case you're wondering who pinned Triple H, well, it was MVP, and he was supposed to be given a title match from Edge, but an Edge, backing out of his word, said no. So, turning face, MVP attacked Edge, and that set up a match between MVP and Edge at Armageddon, I don't know, this pay-per-view. This is setting up a huge championship push for MVP. But let's start getting into the interesting stuff. Royal Rumble 2009. Edge didn't want to defend his title. Instead, he wanted more gold. He entered the Royal Rumble at number 27, seeking to get the WWE Championship match that he thought he deserved. Edge is dominating. By the time number 30 comes, there are only 7 superstars in the ring. Edge, MVP, Triple H, Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, Kane, and Rey Mysterio. Right when Edge is about to eliminate Kane, the dawn hits. It gets dark. The Undertaker has made his return to WWE and is walking slowly down the aisle. Everyone is in shock. It was the first time seeing Undertaker since his WrestleMania loss last year to Edge. Undertaker quickly eliminates Edge, then ends up winning the Royal Rumble, setting up him versus Edge at WrestleMania. But before then, at No Mercy 2009, MVP gets rematch against Edge in a steel cage match this time for the World Heavyweight Championship. MVP's actually about to win. He's about to climb the cage. Then it goes dark. The Undertaker comes in, picks up MVP with his hand, chokeslams him, then power drives him, then puts Edge on top of him to pin him 1, 2, 3. Undertaker didn't do this to help Edge. He did it to solidify their match at WrestleMania that he wants and he thinks he deserves. This is furthers MVP's character, and now he feels like he got screwed over a title multiple times. This is the beginning of a push for MVP that will eventually lead him to be a world champion. WrestleMania 25. It's been a year in our story, but this one is very different from real life. MVP wins the Money in the Bank briefcase in the ladder match. Randy Orton wins the WWE Championship from CM Punk and John Cena in a triple threat match. In the rematch, Edge vs Undertaker ends up with Edge beating Undertaker clean for the 2nd year in a row. The Undertaker has now lost back-to-back WrestleManias, and Edge has been champion for over 500 days, a new all-time record. Now solidified his legacy by not being Undertaker once, but twice at WrestleMania, and being the only person to do so. Kane is Edge's next opponent to defend his brother. It doesn't even matter, Kane gets wiped. I don't even know what I'm talking about, it's just a waste time. But at Extreme Rules 2009, Edge faces Undertaker once again in a Buried Alive match. And right when Undertaker has Edge pinned and he's about to bury him alive, Kane's music hits and Kane chokeslams Undertaker, turn on him, and buries him alive. Edge again escapes another match and is still world champion. Now his next opponent is no other than Jeff Hardy. They feud all the way to SummerSlam and they have a ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship, technically PG, but then this will further Edge's character as the rated R superstar and solidifying him as a GOAT. On that next episode of SmackDown, Edge is talking about how no one is on his level, there's nothing else to do in the ring. He's basically the Legend Killer, but the rated R version. And while he's talking and gloating, here comes the music. Go! If you close your eyes and the truth reveal. Kristen returns to WWE for the first time since I don't even know how long. He calls out Edge and saying Edge hasn't earned anything since winning the World Heavyweight Championship. He's only won one clean match, and that was against Undertaker the second time. And he says he's going to do what no one else has the skills to do in the WWE, and that's beat Edge. So for the next year, all the way up to the Royal Rumble, Edge and Kristen feud over the World Heavyweight Championship. Edge never loses to Kristen. He beats him every single time. Oh, and remember MVP with the briefcase? Well, he cashed in on John Cena and failed on an episode of Raw. Pretty embarrassing, but meaningful to the story. And at Royal Rumble 2010, instead of Edge returning and winning it, MVP wins the Royal Rumble and challenges John Cena at WrestleMania 26. Then we fast forward to Elimination Chamber, where Kristen, Chris Jericho, CM Punk, Kofi Kingston, John Morrison, and Shawn Michaels all fight for the opportunity to face Edge at WrestleMania 26 for the World Heavyweight Championship. Shawn Michaels does win, but then Edge backs out on his word and says that he's not going to give him a title shot unless he puts his career on the line. Shawn Michaels obviously says yes, because The Undertaker doesn't have the streak anymore, so we can't have the streak versus career match. Instead, it'll be Edge versus Shawn Michaels, title versus career. And at Mania 26, MVP beats John Cena to win his first WWE Championship. Batista crowns himself as Mr. Money in the Bank in the ladder match. Undertaker beats Chris Jericho in a grudge match. And Shawn Michaels is officially retired by the hands of Edge. This marks Edge as probably the biggest heel in company history at this point. He ended Jeff Hardy's career, ruined The Undertaker's legacy, and now retired Shawn Michaels. He clearly is a legend and now is past 800 days as champion. At Backlash, Edge's next opponent is Triple H, and Triple H to defend Shawn Michaels wants to fight Edge in a 60-minute Iron Man match. Surprisingly, Edge wins clean and is basically tired, like he's just laying in the ring. Then the music hits. The animal Batista comes in the ring with his Money in the Bank briefcase. Gives it to the ref. 1, 2, 3. Just like that, the 868 title reign is now over. Edge is no longer World Heavyweight Champion. Edge now takes a deserving long vacation and he waits to return to the Royal Rumble. In the Royal Rumble 2011, nothing interesting really happens with Edge. Wade Barrett of the Core eliminates him, and that's when it restarts. Edge returned as a babyface and got another World Heavyweight Championship opportunity at the Elimination Chamber 2011. But then I'm going to keep it short. Wade Barrett, Heath Slater, and Justin Gabriel of the Core all ganged up on Edge to eliminate Edge first, setting a match between Barrett and Edge at WrestleMania 27. Wade Barrett does hit Wasteland on Edge and pins him to beat him in Edge's final match ever. Although he wrestled on less matches and had less injuries in this timeline, I'm still not going to guess and say that he would have been healthy to continue his career. Just like in real life, this will be his last match at WrestleMania 27, but this time he loses. To recap Edge's 868-day title reign, he beat The Undertaker twice at WrestleMania. He beat Triple H in 2 separate feuds. He literally killed Jeff Hardy, and he retired Mr. WrestleMania Shawn Michaels. In this timeline, even though we were able to see Undertaker vs. Shawn Michaels, or saw Jeff Hardy hold less world titles, at least we were able to see Edge become one of the GOATs in the conversation, up there with The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin.